For this next adversary event, we're going back to the Chamber of Secrets. I'm Professorvoqas, and this is Harry Potter, Wizards Unite.
Hello, Professor. I didn't see you there.
Before we begin, I do want to thank Silverclaw24 for putting out the images that I'm about to use for explaining most of this adversary event. Totally appreciate you putting these out to the community and allowing some of us YouTubers to use them. This event's going to run April 12th through the 15th, which is a Monday through a Thursday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Pacific. It is going to include Slytherin's Basilisk and Aragog, and that's why I talked about the Chamber of Secrets, because both of those appeared for the first time in the Chamber of Secrets. As has become standard for adversary events, they've reduced the brewing time of all three types of extimulos and the witch sharpening potions, but it is reduced by 25%, which is a different percentage than we had at the beginning, but the same as we had as the last event. In addition, the witch sharpening ingredients are going to spawn more on the ground, because that's generally the potion that you always use, and then the other three are kind of based on what adversary you're fighting against. At least for me, I'm always using a witch sharpening against these two guys, but then strong or potent, kind of depending on if I'm maybe going to throw another extimulo on it or follow up with a healing potion. As a professor, I usually need to use a little more potions than the other two professions. During the event, Wizarding Challenges, Forest Chamber 4 or higher will guarantee a family fragment no matter what kind of runestone you use. I mean, it'll give you a family fragment from that runestone. In addition, they're going to get you increased wizarding experience, increased challenge experience, and they're also going to reward you with energy, which is nice to just replenish some of what you just used. As they started with the last event, they do have the Buffio Spotlight event happening for players levels 4 through 14, because they can't do adversaries at that point. The Baruffio's brew time is down to 6 hours, and then if you use Master Notes, it's going to be down 50%, so down to 3 hours. And in addition, for players between those levels, not for everybody, but players within 4 to 14 will get 3 times experience when using a Baruffio, so it'll help them level up more to be able to participate potentially in the future in adversary events by getting up to the levels where you're allowed to go ahead and start engaging adversaries. Looking at the tasks for the events, the first thing you're going to have to do is use Master Notes on 8 potions. It's going to get you 1 strong extimulo potion, so you'll probably want to start that as soon as the event starts. Now keep in mind, this isn't brew, so you can't have them ready already. You do have to start them when the event begins to actually be able to enter those Master Notes. If you really wanted to speed things up and pay coins to actually finish the potion early, it would allow you to put another one up and use Master Notes. But with it only being 8 potions and having 4 days to do it, essentially Monday through Thursday, should be enough time for you to enter Master Notes into 8. Just go ahead and save some ingredients now probably so you can brew those. Don't forget, witch sharpening potion ingredients will be on the ground. That's a longer potion, but with those ingredients on the ground, you could at least collect those and potentially brew a witch sharpening potion at 25% reduced rate when you enter those Master Notes. Next up is complete Forest Chamber 4 or higher with any runestone. It doesn't matter. It's going to get you a silver key. You'll have to do that 4 times, and don't forget, whatever runestone you use, you're going to guarantee a family fragment foundable of that family. That's a lot of F words in a row. So I would just look through your registry and see some of the fragments you might need from which families, and just use those runestones to at least make it worth your while to run those fortresses 4 times. Earn 1,750 challenge experience from fortresses, wizarding challenges, or adversary challenges. Now keep in mind, that is challenge experience, not wizarding experience, which is a lower amount. When you go to the chamber, you get wizarding experience, which tends to be more, and challenge experience, which tends to be less, although it is boosted for this event a bit. Keep in mind, the higher the chamber you do, the more challenge experience you're going to get. Adversary chains tend to not give a lot of challenge experience, so I would actually probably grind this out through fortresses rather than through adversary chains. Although you'll be doing adversary chains, and when you do those Forest 4s from the task above, you should be able to get some. Baruffio's does not double this though. You're just going to have to go through the normal amounts. Use 12 of any extimulo potion against adversaries to get you 20 spell energy. This one I'm not a fan of. This is a lot of extimulos to have us go through. They've had us use them in the past, but it's always been less. For them to up the number and make us use even more potions, not good. If it was witch sharpening, it might even be a little different because I use them on all, but 12 witch sharpening would be too much too. So not really a fan of this. I think it should be a less amount, or I'd rather just see this task gone entirely. Anyway, go ahead and try to just get enough regular extimulos ready so that you can use 12 of them, and maybe even have these be the one you brew and enter those 8 Master Notes, and then you can just use all 8 of them, because at least it won't use a lot of your resources, the least amount you could use for extimulos. Return 20 artifact fragments from Slytherin's Basilisk or Aragog's chains, meaning just fight them as adversaries. Now the way you're going to do that, if you go through all the way to Slytherin's Basilisk or all the way through to Aragog, you'll fight the first guard, you'll get a fragment, fight the second guard, get a fragment, and then fight either Slytherin or Slytherin's Basilisk or Aragog, and that's going to get you 2 fragments. So that's 4 per chain, and they want you to get 20, so you're going to have to go through 5 chains anyway. And there's 2 tasks at the bottom that pretty much assure you're going to do that, so you can kind of ignore this and just go ahead and work on the other tasks, and this one will fix itself. When you do complete it, you are going to get 2 potent extimulos, which is nice. Deal 30,000 damage to adversaries. It's going to get you 1 defense against the Dark Art Book. Now, to do that, again, I wouldn't worry about this too much. Just go out and fight adversaries, and you're probably going to get pretty close to 30,000, if not hit it. And if you didn't, you could just go and fight maybe 1 or 2 more, and you're certainly going to meet this goal. And the last 2 tasks are to defeat either Aragog or Slytherin's Basilisk 3 times. Each of them is going to get you 1 defense against the Dark Arts Book. Again, you're going to have to go through each chain 3 times anyway, so that's 6 chains, and that's why you're going to have more than the 20 fragments you need, and most likely you're going to be very close to that 30,000 damage. Once you do all that, you're going to get 5 defense against the Dark Arts books, you're going to get some gold, you're going to get some spell energy, and you're going to get some wizarding experience, but it's mainly those defense against the Dark Arts books most people will be looking for. As was introduced in the previous adversary event, they do have a bonus task after this. It's just kind of a step 2 of doing things. Once you've completed all that, this is going to open up. First up is to place 3 images on Aragog or Slytherin's Basilisk's registry pages, meaning in their challenge registry, looking through your feared adversaries, you're going to actually have to place images on those pages. So I guess first big bit of advice, if you have any images ready to place or really close and you end up getting them before this event begins or even during the event, just do not place those images until you get to this so you can place 3 of them. This is an interesting task because the people that are a little more hardcore, just play a lot more, they're more likely to unlock this. But they're more likely to be on a bronze page or a silver page or a gold page where it's much harder to place images down. So if somebody newer gets to this page and hasn't advanced that page in their registry to bronze, silver, or gold, they're going to have an easier time placing those images down. So it's kind of just an interesting out-of-the-place task where it really... the people that would get to here are going to struggle maybe to place those 3 images unless they already had a bunch of fragments, or if obviously they just fight a ton of adversaries and build that many fragments back up so that they can place images. Right now, I think I have an Aragog. It's the only thing I have to place just by chance. I didn't know this was coming. And so I'm saving that image, obviously, so when I get to this part. The only bad part about that is I'm going to fight Aragog numerous times, and those fragments are kind of going to go to waste because I'm not building them back up. I'll just be kind of already at max fragment waiting to place this image during this set. If you are able to complete it though, you do get a spell book which will help you with your combat adversary tree if you have not finished that yet. Then the next 2 tasks are similar to the last adversary event or the dragon event in that they're just asking us to continue to beat more and more. So it's either defeat 6 Aragon or Slytherin's Basilisk or defeat 10. And as soon as you defeat 1, it's going to kind of tick up the counter on both of these. You'll get 1 out of 6 and 1 out of 10 kind of at the same time. So you don't have to defeat 6, then 10 more. You would just have to get 4 more. And each time you defeat 6, when you defeat 6, you're going to get a spell book, and then when you get up to 10, you're going to get another spell book. And then if you complete all of it, you're going to get 5 more defense against the Dark Arts books, some more gold, some more spell journey, some more wizarding experience. So not too much has changed since the last event. They're following a similar pattern in the last event. Really, the 2 tasks I would say that are different, and maybe they're just experimenting, which I have said I am glad they're trying new things, but hopefully as they get feedback, they'll maybe not do them again. Like the 12 extimulos, I've already seen on Discord and Reddit, people have commented about that they definitely feel it's too many, and I definitely agree with that. That's a lot of extimulos to use. And then this place 3 images task, because if you have your page a little further along, it's just so many fragments and so many adversaries to fight. And as I say, for all these adversary events, I'm always limited by when I run out of potions. I can't defeat them without potions. And also, energy-wise, if I'm not somewhere where I can just replenish energy, I'll run out of energy pretty quickly and can't even sustain fighting these guys. I am glad they're doing the Baruffios event because it doesn't require them to meet any requirements or anything. It's just a straight-up bonus for newer players to be able to catch up and get to those levels where they're actually able to start fighting adversaries. Even if they don't do this event, at least it'll unlock adversaries so they can start fighting Draco and Fenrir at whatever level they are and able to get them. As always, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Nox.